we are talking about how to beat inflation. And I know this is kind of weird coming on a segue.
Ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along as easy.
If you haven't seen any of the other episodes, what you can look at too is there are episodes on the channel from MoneyBru show where we try South African beef jerky, which is biltong, a delicacy. So don't miss that. And I might as well grab a little bit just to keep my energy going, okay? Take life easy. This is gonna be a stressful time. I recommend you just take it easy, build your network, build your partnerships. Try not to miss out on that, because later on you're gonna build rapport. And you know the saying, if you give to someone, they forget about it much sooner than you forget about it. So remember to do that. But let's jump into my computer and what we have going. So here's some ways you can make $1,000 to $2,000 extra every month. Because remember what I said earlier, you know, you need to really make 20% more or save 20% or do like 10% more in your income and save 10%. Using your budgeting apps, you can do that. Following that, here are some options for you. So we're talking about those side hustles, and there's a lot of good suggestions on ones you can really embrace. You know, we spoke about the hybrid economy, people really having to do multiple things to survive, but take into account the amount of time you have. So you really want to balance that out with the highest effective options. Sabri Subri in Sell Like Crazy talks about it. You want to do the 20% of the things that generate your income, and you want to do the 20% of the 20%. So you're doing the 4% that generates you the most income. And while still balancing work-life balance. You could do DoorDash to get an extra 1,000 to 2,000. You can, in the meantime, you could rent a spare room in your house to people you trust. And then finally, virtual tutoring. You can teach people a new skill. Like I can speak Afrikaans to my kids and teach them something interesting, but I can teach other people as well as for an extra income opportunity. Drop shipping, I don't like that much, but I do like flipping things. And we're gonna get into real estate in a second here because it's so interesting to me, the techniques you can use. You can do freelancing on the side as well as an option. Let's talk about investments and let's jump right in. Rely on your team around you, right? This is our team, we're pretty solid. That gives us a good edge in the market. So I mentioned opportunities you can take to improve your income levels and savings you can make. A book you can look at is Profit First. It really explains budgeting that I enjoy. And then let's talk about this. So if you're investing, I think during inflationary times, it's important to continue to invest. Ray Dalio says it best, get a diverse portfolio. But I want to show you the portfolio pick that I have. This one has been up 88% over the last 5 years, which is really good and it's kind of stable. But you can also look at like Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio and look at what they have in there and have like your investment strategist help you follow those trends. Ours is mostly indexes that are easy to follow. VWOO is a S&P 500 tracker. There's a Vanguard Growth ETF. There's the healthcare sector, 10% on the other one. Vanguard Value ETF, 20%. Then the semiconductor industry is booming right now. In our previous video, we spoke about EV and plug-in hybrids, taking that tax credit to help you get a boost in this tax year that you're in or finishing up with. And go check the video up in this little button up here somewhere. The next one is clean energy as well. That's part of this whole thing, 25% in that. So obviously we're not investment strategists. Take this with a grain of salt. I would also say that get advice from a professional, and we're not holding this liable to our company on advice we're giving. This is just what I enjoy working with. So we have that. Now that you're investing, I would recommend hard assets too, and liquid assets. Something that's really booming too is wine. Select wines, select art can be very fun to collect and enjoy. I'm not a big fan of cryptos because of the past market experiences. I only have about, I think 5 to 10% in cryptos, but on a hard wallet. So like on a Ledger or on a Trezor, something like that. A lot of that is general knowledge that's out there. So here's a hack in real estate. What you could do is you can fund a self-directed IRA, and with that funding and this allocation that's growing, if you have more than 10,000, you could take that to the next deposit down payment of your house, without tax and without having to worry about that. It's a great hack when you're going through trying to purchase a house in such a difficult time. I would also suggest waiting sometimes for the rates to get to where you want them, or doing a buy down rate. But this is really, like I said again, trust the professionals, make the decisions for yourself. Try not to get into a very high rate if you can afford it. Once you have that property, you want to hold it for a year. There's this misconception of, I want cash flow right now. The problem with that is you are limiting yourself. What you rather would want to do is take that property, hold it for a year, or flip it within the time period you can, and do a 1031 exchange and get another property. And you want to flip rather than cash flow. There's a description between both that can be detrimental. So cash flow will just lock you in and you'll just sit on this asset, but it doesn't have enough cash flow for you to move to that next investment. You need to evaluate that for yourself. How big of a cash flow can you get from this? And then I have looked at my own country and investing in real estate there because it's cheaper, or like going to Nebraska and doing it there. So there's all these elements that you gotta decide for yourself. But a really good mentor of mine said, you should rather flip 2 or 3 properties in a market like this than to cash flow, because you're dealing with rates and things like that. You're dealing with investors now more than you are the individual who's being squeezed by inflation. Another note is that spare bedroom or doing an Airbnb rental. These work out extremely well if you're okay with managing people, getting a cleaning crew and scheduling that out. It worked really well for my wife and I. We were bringing about 15 to 1600 just from renting our basement, and about 500 to 300 we were keeping every month. So it's not that much, but that was paying our mortgage. We could deduct all the expenses, and same goes with flipping. You can deduct all those expenses as you go. Thanks for watching this video. I know it was a mouthful. We're gonna cut it down, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Check out our next pieces of content where we do all kinds of fun things, reacting to a manufacturing company by John Friddle. We're also gonna have him on the show, but catch you guys on the next one. Cheers from MoneyBru and the team. We appreciate you, and thanks for watching.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along.
What do you think? Because a lot of this information is vague, and we want to try and make it as not vague as possible. So let's get right to it. That's pretty good context.